All right, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how to crate train your dog. I personally use the crate mainly for letting my dog sleep in there and to give them a place to decompress if they need to. But if you're a reactive dog owner, crate training is going to be an absolute game changer. There's lots of other reasons we could use the crate. It might be that your dog suffers from separation anxiety, that your dog is terrible at the vets, and we need to prep them for those kind of situations. The crate is going to be a safe space for your dog, and we're going to teach the crate training in a way where your dog enjoys it, and it's more of a safe space or a den for your dog to go whenever they want to. And just a tip, if you're one of my Australian clients, don't go to a pet store, any big branded pet store, to buy your crate. They're going to charge you like $200. All you're going to do is go to our trusty friend being Kmart, and you can get like an extra large crate for around $40. So if you're a small dog owner, it's a bargain. So when it comes to crate training, you need to use a little bit of creativity to think about how we can get our dogs in there. For a dog like Floyd, obviously who's already crate trained, but he's quite confident, he's not going to worry about getting in the crate. But if you have a puppy or if you have a rescue, you might find it quite hard to initially get your dog into the crate. This is where our food motivation guide, which you have already done, is going to help, how our marker system is going to help. So I can get Floyd into the crate with the motivation for the food and also let him know that he's done a really good job. So at first, I might use no markers and just use his motivation for food. I'm simply placing food down on the floor next to the crate. And I'm simply going to start putting the food in the crate. I might do that a few times. If we have a really nervous dog, you might just spend your first session letting them put their head inside of the crate. For Floyd, what we're going to do is we're going to move pretty fast so that I can show you different ways of how to attack this. I'm then going to throw the food all the way in the crate, okay, and let him in there. For Floyd, as I said, he's quite confident, so he's probably going to want to stay in the crate. All I'm going to do is just reward him for being in there. Okay, come on. Good boy. So we'll get Floyd out of the crate. Come on, Bella, this way. Good boy. Sit down. Good. So now we're going to try a little bit of a different way. What we're going to do, let's say your dog has been quite confident. They've gone in the crate, they've taken the food. Now we want to add some duration onto it. So I'm going to put the food inside the crate. Okay. Let Floyd go inside. Okay, go and get it. I'm then simply going to close the door of the crate. I might open it back up, yes, and pay him the food. I'll do the same thing again, put him in the crate, okay. Close the door, and now we could use our marker, yes, and reward him. What we did then is we used our terminal marker, our yes, to let him know that you did a great job inside of the crate, and now you're done, you can come out. So now we're simply going to get Floyd back inside, and we're going to use our continuation marker, so our good. As you can see, my model dog Floyd is already in the crate, but let's imagine this is your dog. You've shut the door, and now we want our dog to understand that during this process, it's okay. I might use the word good and drop food inside. Good. Came outside of the crate. But basically, I'm just trying to create good. A really positive association with this crate for Floyd. Good. This might be a few minute session. This might be short. It might be long. It's up to you. Good. After a while, you might want to increase the duration that your dog stays in there, and that's what we're going to go over now. Okay, so as you can see, we've done a lot of this filming in my house, and I'm sat here next to my TV. Let's say this isn't Floyd and I've got a young puppy next to me. I might want to condition him to the crate by just sitting very close to him, watching my favourite show, not Love Island by the way, and reward him for doing a good job. Good. I might really space apart how often I'm rewarding Floyd. It might be a few minutes. Good. As you can see now, Floyd is starting to lie down, so he's feeling a lot more comfortable being in the crate and he's happy to be there. Like I said earlier, if this is your dog, try to really space out how long your rewards are. So you might leave him in there for 5 minutes, give him a reward, 10 minutes, give a reward, and then let him know he's all done. Okay, and he can come out. Okay, come on. He can come out of the crate. When it comes to actually putting the dog inside for the night, what I want you to do is do this for at least a few days, and then we're gonna have a bit of a tough love approach. So obviously we've spaced out how long our dog is in the crate. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But then eventually we're gonna need to say to the dog, okay, it's time for you to go in this and sleep in there for the whole night. What you're most likely gonna get for the first few nights, maybe it's one night. For Floyd when he was a puppy, he cried for the first night and that was it, he was an angel. But what you're gonna get is whining. Just remember, if we put our dogs in the crate for the night, we go to bed and they whine and whine and whine, and eventually we go, fuck it. And we come out, we grab our dog, we take him outside of the crate. What have we done? We have taught our dog that if they feel stressed or if they don't want to be inside of the crate, if I cry for long enough, mum or dad is going to come and get me out of the crate. So I know it may be hard, it can feel horrible, and sometimes you've got some sleepless nights, but push through the pain of the whining to realize at the end of it, you're going to have a dog who can be safe at night and enjoy going to a safe space. This rule does not apply if you have an 8-week-old or a young puppy. We need to make sure that your puppy, who can't yet hold their bladder, has the adequate time to go to the toilet. So that might mean by reducing their water before bed, not allowing them too much water inside of their crate, making sure that we toilet them just before they go to bed, and even once or maybe sometimes twice a night, depending on the dog's age, getting up, letting them go outside on a leash, go to the toilet and come back in. Obviously, eventually we're gonna reduce this where the dog has to stay inside the crate the whole night. But if you do have a young puppy, remember, they can't hold their bladder, so don't lock them in the crate where they're just gonna go to the toilet. So remember, we have a few things to help us with crate training. Most importantly, we have our food motivation and we also have our markers. So use them to your advantage. Be creative in the way that you get your dog in the crate. Make sure that you're not keeping them in there for too long at a time, and just make it a really fun and enjoyable space for your dog to go into. And if you have any questions about crate training, head on to WhatsApp, send me a message, and I'll get back to you with any advice which I think may help.